Hi, I'm Kimberly Fleck. This is my example for how I could use Pinterest in my classroom. My students are currently working on a unit of war, and I'm thinking that I'd like them to use Pinterest as a resource gathering spot. This would address two different standards. We have the Social Studies Common Core Standard, which would compare and contrast the treatments of the same topic in several primary and secondary sources. And then the Pennsylvania Standard, which evaluates the interpretation of historical events and sources. They'd be doing the evaluation just in the fact of determining what to actually post on the boards. They'll be looking at a series of different events or pieces of the wars, and then looking at a wide array of different sources. The overview of the assignment, big picture, I have my students in each class are broken into groups of 5. Each group of 5 is assigned one of 5 wars. Ultimately, the groups of 5 are going to work together to create a museum that showcases their war, but each student is responsible for a specific aspect of that war. The wars include World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, and the Persian Gulf War. So one student might have the home front, one might have military and technology advances of that specific war. I want to create a place where students can share information. So they'll be utilizing a board that I've created on Pinterest. The student learning objective in this case is that students will be researching and then submitting at least 2 online links to showcase information on their assigned war to a Pinterest board established by the teacher. They will be encouraged to link multiple types of information, whether it's the science aspect or technology or a poet on their specific war. Pictures, video clips, audio clips are all welcome. Technologically speaking, I went ahead and set up the boards. Then I made a few pins to act as a starting place. I'm only inviting students to pin to the board who are working on that specific war, but all students will be able to check the board out. So here's an example of what I did. I have the different boards set up, so World War I and II, Vietnam. All the students across all of my classes that are working on Vietnam War will be sent an invite so that they can pin to my Vietnam War board. So I have about 25 students who can pin to Vietnam War board. They'll be able to share information with one another. They're also going to be able to look at every other board. Not pin to them, just look at them. But this will give them an idea of what kind of information they should be looking for or could look for on the different wars. I have about 5 groups working on World War I, so all the students working on World War I will compile all their information here. I like this because a student who's working on Vietnam can take a look at this board, see, oh wow, here's a combat zone. I wonder if I can find something like that on my war, and then share it accordingly. They're also getting exposed to the other wars. Pinterest offers a lot to students in the classroom. It's collaborative, student-centered, appeals to multiple learning. The student-centered part of it is it's a supplement to the fact that they're already doing research. So they're doing the research, but they're not really communicating. Maybe a little bit in their groups, but they're not sharing with other people who are working on the same war, and they're not being exposed to what other students are finding about their own wars. Definitely appeals to a digital learner, also to a visual learner, an auditory learner. These are kids that like to kind of get in there, hands-on, but the visual aspect of it through the computer is a huge benefit. It's very active, hands-on. The students are doing the research, and they're taking that research a little bit further through the collaboration and sharing of their material. I think that the use of the Pinterest is creating a bit of a hybrid or a blended classroom. Pinterest is widely blocked in a lot of school districts, including mine. I have an appeal in to get it to be an approved site with a specific intention of using it for this project. But the fact of the matter is, they'll be looking at this at home, they'll be looking at it on their mobile devices, so it becomes a hybrid classroom, a mobile classroom, if you will. They're going to be working on different research aspects, coordination, sharing, collaboration in class, and then taking it even further when they're at home browsing around on Pinterest. The list of my references here. I really think that Pinterest could be a great place for students to share a bunch of information and just push that collaboration a little bit further. And like I said, it allows the different class periods that I have the opportunity to collaborate in a way they usually can't. Thank you for listening. I hope it was insightful.